Hey, there we go. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. And today we are continuing our cram week, our study week for this August SAT. And what we're doing today and yesterday is working through this May 2023 US SAT, the paper version. So if you are taking international, tomorrow and Thursday are the digital days, so make sure to let people know and join on. But of course, this is still relevant for digital because the math in terms of subject matter is still the same. Okay, so the math sections that we're doing, they're equivalent in terms of the subject matter. Maybe little variations in the format, the fact that you have a calculator throughout, etc. We want to be mindful of those little differences, but we're going to hit those digital sections Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is going to be awesome. We're going to do a big review. I'm going to look at the trends of the last few years for different types or new types of SAT math problems, and I'm going to really alert you to those things that maybe you didn't see it as much in 2020, 2021, but maybe they're popping up more now. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be really, really cool, and I'm very excited. And definitely let me know if you have questions or if you have other things that you want to see on Friday. We'll also have time to do some Q&A as well, as long as my voice holds up. Doing a lot of videos lately, and yeah, it's just a lot. By the way, if you haven't checked out our series on OpenStax yet, if you are taking Algebra 2 this year, I would definitely check it out. We got everything. I've been working on these videos all summer, so it's pretty cool. April 2023, I don't believe that was released. And if it was not released, I can't do it. We can we can do tests that have been officially released by the College Board. So that's my understanding. If that's incorrect, then I could definitely do it. But that's what I believe. All right, so I'm just pouring my coffee into my little heating mug. Get that rocking. And without further ado, we're going to start. So if you're new to the channel, I take these tests in real time, usually for the first time. This one, obviously, I've done before. But we're going to go through and I'm going to tell you how to do each problem within the time limit. I'm also going to teach it to you. I'm going to explain it as I go. So that's kind of the fun of this. Oh, man, it's so hard to predict the difficulty level. So I would say generally it feels like August has been pretty difficult, which is always a good thing because then with the equating process that goes on, usually that means one wrong will give you a higher score than if it's an easier test. That's typically how it's been, but it's so difficult to predict. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with the timer. Oh, let me get a calculator up here too. I'll get Desmos open in case we need it. Boom. And we can switch back and forth. All right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. And make sure to like this video if you do like it. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And hit the bell, because we got notifications that will be very important for this week in particular, but going forward as well. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. Let's do this thickness. Here we go. 8 data points are shown in the scatter plot. A line of best fit for the day is also shown, which is the line close to the y value predicted for the line of best fit for an x value of 3,700. So here might be 3,700. Line of best fit, we'd take it straight up on this. And it looks like 32.5, maybe 33 is the closest. That's how we do it. Boom, done. Number 2, an object has a mass of 3,300 milligrams. What is the mass in grams? Well, they give us a conversion. 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. So 3,000 would be 3 grams. Hence, this would be 3.3. That's how you do it. Done. Number 3. What is the y-intercept of the line graph? Y-intercept is where it hits the y-axis right there. That y-intercept is a x value of 0, y value of 1. Oops. So that should be a 1. Nice curve parentheses. 0, 1. C is the winner. Boom, done. Number 4. On average, 1 square inch of human skin contains 650 sweat glands. 1 square inch. A certain area of skin contains 1170. Based on this information, which of the following is close to the size of this area? Let's do a little proportion. So we know that inches, I always like to label it 1 inch for 650 sweat glands. So how many inches, square inches, for 1170? Cross multiply, boom, boom, 650. X equals 1170 divided by 650. Boom, 650, boom. It's got to be D because it's greater than, it's obviously greater than 1. These 3 are less. And let's double check. This is silly to double check, but we'll do it anyways. So 1170 divided by 650, and it's exactly 1.8. That's how you do it. Moving on. Okay, we got number 5. The graph of the function t is shown where y of t of x Which of the following types of functions is graphed? Okay, this is decreasing because it's negative, so increasing is out. And decreasing linear, just like it sounds, it should be a line. There shouldn't be a bend. This is decreasing exponential as a result. Boom, done. Number 6, which of the following dot plots, each with 9 data values, represents a data set with a median value that is less than 70? Median is the middle value. It's definitely not B, because I can see all these values, and median is not 70. It's going to be skewed up. It doesn't even, we're not even going to get into it. I'm going to find the right answer. I'm going to show you why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, C is going to be the answer, but I'm going to come back to explain why. This one, this is definitely not going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, they all have 9. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have a median at 70. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, this would have a median at 70. Okay, so what is the median? Median is the middle value. So if I have 9 values, it's the 5th value going from left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's the median at 65. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see we have 4 above, 4 below, and that's how you know it's the middle, aka the median. Number 7. For 7 and 8, refer to the table. Give the heights in feet, 5 peaks, 5 peaks, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, what is the height in meters of Blanca? Where's Blanca? Height, Blanca peak. Okay, we have to convert feet to meters. So 1 meter is 3.28 feet. So we know that this is 14,350 feet. We want to know how many meters. Cross multiply. 3.28x equals 14,350, and then we divide both sides by 3.28. Let's do it in the calculator. So we got 14,350 divided by 3.28. Oops. And we got this value, 43. What is happening? Did I put too many? Oh, I put too many zeros. Sorry. There we go. 4375. B is the winner. Done. That makes, I mean, that's pretty clearly obvious. Like, you can just do mentally divide by 3. It should be around 4,000. So, okay, number 8. For the 5 Appalachian mountain peaks, the height of the highest peak. Hold on, for the given, must be a typo. For the given Appalachian mountain peaks, which are these guys, the height of the highest peak, which is 668. Oh, it's in order. Wait, is it? Yeah, I think it is. So that's the highest peak. 6684, right? 6647. Yeah, it's the highest. For the given Appalachian Mountain peaks, the height of the highest peak is approximately what percent greater than the height of the lowest peak? Got it. So the lowest peak is this one. So to see what percent greater, I need to get the actual difference, 84 minus 11, which is 73. What percent greater than the lowest peak? So this is what percent of the total height of the lowest peak, 6611. So let's do that now. Oh, it's probably going to be 1.1, like just common sense. Yeah. So this as a percentage, you move it over twice, boom, boom, it's 1.1%, approximately. A is the winner, done. It does say approximately, so boom. 9. Here we go. Let's get that timer back up. Data set, boom, A and B, and they look identical except for that extra 26. Which statements best compares the medians? Median is the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when there's 6 values, we got to take the average of the middle. 6 and 6 make 6. Right? 6 plus 6 divided by 2 is 6. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have an exact median, which is the middle of 7 values, but it's also 6. So the medians are equal. C is the winner, done. Number 10. Oops. Something happened. There we go. Number 10. The mass of a solution of blah, blah, blah water is this. The given equation represents where X is the volume of isopropanol and Y is the volume of water. The volume of isopropanol is 70. That's X. What is the approximate value of water? So this is a plug and chug situation. Plugging in 70 and then solving for Y. So 0.79 times 70 plus Y, because 1 times Y is just Y equals 100. 0.79 times 70 is 55.3. So 55.3 plus Y equals 100. Subtract it from both sides, and it's going to be 44.7, which approximates to 45. That's how you do it. Boom, done. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me think. If the volume of isopropanol is 70, yeah, I think it makes sense, right? All right, 11. There are 435 voting members of the U.S. House of Representatives. If B, voting members are in favor of a certain bill, which expression represents the percentage of voting members in favor? Just making sure I didn't misread anything. So it would be B out of 435. That's the fraction, which will give you the decimal equivalent of the correct percent. But they want it in percentage form, a.k.a. you move the decimal over twice. Another way of saying this is you multiply by 100. So the answer is A. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's correct. Boom, done. All right. 12. Which of the following equations has the same solution as the given equation? Okay. Maybe we should just solve it. 10x plus 1200 equals 120. 10x equals 120 minus 1200 is negative 1080 divided by 10. X equals negative 108. Clearly not this one. Clearly not this one. Negative 108. It's this one. Negative 108 plus 120 is 12. And let me just see. And then the other way to do, well, actually much easier. What they did was they just divided both sides by 10. And then you get x plus 120 equals 12. Boom, done. All right. 13. The graph shows the change over time in milliseconds in neuron's membrane and electrical brain signal. Hold on. The graph shows the change over time in milliseconds in neuron's membrane potential during an electrical brain signal known as an action potential. At which of the following times in ms milliseconds is the membrane potential closest to negative 70? Membrane potential, negative 70. Well, 0, but that's not there. This is just reading a graph. I see it here at negative 70, which is 1.1. What? They're not, none of them are that close. Okay, so if we're comparing between 2, 3, 4, and then it goes back up. Duh, it's 5. What am I talking about? Yeah, closest to negative 70, it's 5, because it's right at negative 70 or like maybe right below it. Cool. 14. Let's get the timer back up. 14 function C models, soybean use in China and millions of metric tons, where X is the number of years. X is years. Notice I'm always underlining the variable, right? And we get that nice formula. Which graph represents the model? Cost equals this and this. Okay. So we got a slope of 4.3, but that's not really going to help because look at the scaling, so it's all weird. But I know I have a y-intercept at 19, so that one passes, that one passes. This one, I mean, it could pass. It's so hard to read. This one's D is definitely wrong. Y-intercept is wrong. And now we need, let's see, what's another good point to test? They all have 12 on there, so let's test that value. 12 times 4.3, I know it's about 50, but let's double check. 12 times 4.3 is 51.6 plus 19. So at 12, we should get a value of 70.6 for the cost. At 12, we get a value of, that's beautiful. That one's wrong. And 12, we get a value, that's totally wrong. So it's got to be A. Let's do one more value just for fun. I see 4 here. Do it mentally. That's 16 plus 19 is about 35. That looks great. 4 here, that's definitely not 35. 4 here, that's something weird. And 4, definitely not that one. So, yeah. 15. According to the model, what is the best interpretation of 4.3? This is slope, so this is a rate of change. So this means that the annual soybean use in millions is going up by 4.3 million every year. Should be between and China uses 4.3. Nope. It's increasing is the annual soybean use. Let's see, wait. How's the annual soybean use in millions? X is the number of years. Yeah. So each year it's going up by 4%. So each year use of soybeans increased by 4.3 million tons. No. China use a total. Nope, no total. Slope, rate of change each year. Boom. And 16, 2 functions, cost, revenue. So cost is C, and X bales on a certain farm. So X is the number of bales, R is the revenue. And of course, profit is revenue minus cost, just FYI. According to the function R, how many bales of hay would have to be sold to earn a revenue of $14.25? Plug and chug. So plug in for revenue and solve for X. $14.25 equals 4.75X. We need the calculator. Although, can I estimate this? It's like divided by 5, which should be about 300. But let's double check. 1425. A on the button, 300. Okay. Which of the following inequalities models the number of bales of hay that must be sold to earn a profit of 10,000 more? So again, revenue minus cost. So let's simplify this. Revenue, 4.75, minus cost. So then we distribute the negative. 4.75, oh, that's supposed to be X. Minus 0.75 is 4X minus 50,000. So there's my profit function. Miles the number of bales of hay that must be sold to earn a profit of 10,000 or more. So that'd be the equation. 4X minus 50,000 is greater than or equal to 10,000. It's A. Just like this. I just have it flipped around, but it's the same thing. Right? And the orientation should be facing the profit, not the 10,000, right? We want the profit to be greater than or equal to 10,000. 18, which expression is equivalent? Yay, a little bit of foiling and simplification, which is fun. This one, we're squaring that binomial. So if you remember, it's x to the fourth, and it's x squared times 4 times 2, which is 8x squared, just a little shortcut, plus 16. And then this one, we FOIL it, we get x squared plus 2x minus 2x, they cancel out, and then minus 4. Boom. These two add together, we get x to the fourth plus 9x squared plus 12. D is the winner. Let me make sure I didn't make a mistake. It's the fourth, 8x squared, 16, x squared minus 4. 8x squared plus x squared, 9x squared. Definitely these two are out. Yeah, that's good. Okay, number 19. Let's go. How many solutions does a given system of equation have? All right, immediately, when we're talking about number of solutions, it can either have 0, 1, or infinite. Cannot have 2 solutions for lines, right? It would either be infinite or 1 or none. But in this case, I can immediately see they have the same slope, different y-intercept. That tells me these lines are parallel, which means it's going to have no solutions or 0 solutions. You can also solve this if you want by elimination, negate, add them together. Negative y plus y is 0. Negative 4x plus 4x is 0. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Does 0 equal 2? No, it does not. This is a problem. That's an indication that there are 0 solutions. Number 20. Which inequality represents all values of x for which the graph y equals h of x in the xy plane is above the x-axis? Well, x, let's see when it hits the x-axis. First of all, we got a y-intercept of 3. I don't even need to graph this, and then we got a slope of 3, like this. And so we just got to figure out what this point is when it hits the x-axis. Obviously, it's a negative value. It's probably C, but we'll just circle it just for fun. But then now, where does it hit the x-axis? AKA, what is the x-intercept? That's when the function value is 0. So that's when 0 equals 3x plus 3, subtract 3. Negative 3 equals 3x, divided by 3, x equals negative 1. So that's the x-intercept like we predicted. So since it's a positive slope, it's anywhere to the right or greater than negative 1. C is the winner. Boom, done. Number 21. The graph models the mass y in nanograms of cobalt-60. Remaining example after x half-lives. The half-life of CO60 is 5.27. What is the mass in nanograms in the remaining sample after 10.54 years? Hold on. So do I need the graph for this or? Oh, that's 2 half-lives. 5.27 is 1 half-life. 10.54, that's that doubled. So it's 2 half-lives. So it's right here. And wait, mass remaining, start at 5. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't oversimplify it because it's 1.25 is what it looks like. 1 second. 1 half-life, 2 half-lives. Okay. I don't think I'm misreading it. Just double checking. We're getting into the later questions, so I want to make sure I don't make any silly mistakes. Which quadratic equation has no real soluciones? Let's see. This one will, because x can be 1 or negative 1. This one will, 0. This one probably is the answer. And then this one probably... Okay, now we have to check between these two. So I've already eliminated those two. Those definitely have solutions. When we're talking about no real solutions, we're talking about the discriminant. That's what I want you to think. Quadratic with no solution, one solution, two solution. We're talking about the discriminant. If the discriminant is 0, one solution. If it's positive, two solutions. Negative, no solutions. What's my discriminant? B squared minus 4AC. And this is A, B, and C. Same with this one. I'm pretty sure it's C. Let's double check. So B squared is 9 minus 4A, and C is 3 again. 4 times 3 is 12, times 3 is 36. 9 minus 36 is negative 27. It's negative, which means this has no real solution. Just for fun, this one, B squared is 36 minus 4AC. 36 minus 36, 0. So this will have one solution, whatever it would be. I don't know. But anyways, boom, done. 23. For the triangle shown, which equation is not true? Right triangle, 42, 59. And we got a little trig action going. So I'll tell you let's start with what is true. I know that, let's see, they have sine of x. Okay, so sine of x is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. 42 over 59. So this is definitely true, and that is this one. So that's out. This is 90 minus x, right? It's the complement because this is 90. This is something, and all three have to add up to 180, so this is 90 minus x. So I know that, since we're given this sign, we don't know this side. I know that cosine of 90 over x, 90 minus x, excuse me, is adjacent over hypotenuse, 42 over 59, which I'm sure is here too. 42 over 59, cosine of 90 minus, yeah, right here, C. Oops, that one's, it says which one is not true, so that's cool. Sine of 90, this one is not true. Because sine of 90 minus x, I mean, well, if this is isosceles, it could be, but I doubt it. And then this one we know is true. This is a rule. You can prove it too, because let's call this side A. Sine of 90 minus x is opposite over hypotenuse, so A over 59. And then cosine of x is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is, again, A over 59. So you can prove that that does equal 0. But in general, cosine of an angle is equal to sine of the complement and vice versa. So if those are equal, they have to subtract and have a difference of 0. So B is the winner. Boom, done. Number 24. How are you doing time-wise? We're doing great. Okay, 1976 were approximately 1,000 gray wolves in northern Minnesota. Number of grays in Minnesota in 2008 was 190% greater than 1976. Approximately how many gray wolves? Okay, this is an interesting one, and they keep doing this in recent tests, so this is definitely a trend. They're not saying it was 190% of that value. It was 190% greater, which means I have to calculate 190% of 1,000, which I can do mentally. It's 1,900. And then I have to add it to the original. Now, notice in the answer choices, they gave the answer of 1,900. So if you just took 190% of this, but didn't add it to the original, you get B, and that would be incorrect. So C. Remember, if you're ever confused on this, you'd be like, okay, wait, do I take the percentage and add it, or do I just take the percentage? Think about if they asked the question, what if this was 40% greater? You know, if it's greater, you can't just take 40% because it'd be less. So you know, wait, that's not right. If it said 40% greater, I'm taking 40% and adding it to the original. Oh, I have to do the same here. So that's how you do it. Let's go on to 25. The quadratic function f is graphed in the xy plane, blah, blah, blah. Its vertex is negative 2, 5. One of the x-intercepts of the graph. Okay, let me just kind of get a rough idea here. So we got negative 2 and 5. Don't have to graph it, but it's nice sometimes. And then negative 7/3 is right here because it's negative 2 and 1/3. So we're coming down this way. And that means it's also going to come down this way because the vertex, I've talked about this in many videos, the vertex is right down the middle of the x-intercepts, which means if I have one intercept at x equals negative 7/3, which is 1/3 to the left of 2, I should also have my second one 1/3 to the right of negative 2, aka negative 2 plus 1/3, which is negative 5/3. So my other x-intercept should be negative 5/3, comma 0, which is B. Let's just make sure. Yeah, see, this wouldn't make sense because negative 13 thirds is, what is that? 4 1/3, right? That'd be like over here. That doesn't make sense. 1/3 would be way too far to the right. The negative 2, again, has to be right in the middle. 7/3 makes even less sense. So B is the winner. Boom, done. 26. The box plot summarizes data set X, Y, 100 integers. Let's underline that, right? And let me just make sure I didn't move anything. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Which of the following statements must be true? Let's not talk about the mean yet because these aren't great for looking at means, but they are great for median because median is that center line. The median of X, which is 5, is less than the median of data set 6, or data set Y, which is 6. That is true. So 2 is definitely true. Now the question is 1 true. The mean of data set X is less. I don't know. And that's the key because I know that 25% of the values are here, but I don't know if they're all 7 and then 1 9 or all 8s and 1 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So it's kind of difficult not difficult. It's impossible to tell because this only gives sort of like a general summary. So which one must be true? That's going to be only 2. That's how you do it. 27. For an exponential function, let me just double check. I'm just trying to make sure there's no way like we can definitely, because half of the values are up here, half the values are up here. Even though it's 6 to 9, again, yeah, I don't know the distribution, I don't know the standard deviation, anything. So that's that. For an exponential function g, the value of g of x decreases by 20% for each 1 unit increase of the value of x. All right. So g of 2 equals 16. Which equation could define g? All right. So first, we're talking about a decrease of 20%. So it's got to be the 0.8. These are decreases of 80%, right? Because if you're multiplying a value by 0.2, you're getting 20% of that value, 80% less, right? So if I want a decrease of 20%, I want to basically say it's 80% of the original. All right. So we got these guys. Now, we know that when we plug in 2, we should get 16. Well, if I plug in 2 for B, okay, I get 0.8 to, I'll show you what it is. 0.8 to the 4th times 16, which doesn't make sense. We're supposed to get 16. But here, if I do 2 minus 2, which is 0, 0.8 to the 0th power, that's 1. 1 times 16 is 16. Boom, done. Right? That's how you do it. Nice little test. And let's go with this. 28. Misha and Raina have asked how many soft drink servings. Okay. Misha estimated that the mean number of soft drinks was 7.1. That's Misha. And then with an associated margin of error of 1.2. I always like to do this. So if it's Misha, that's 7.1, but it could go as high as this plus the margin of error and this minus the margin of error, which is 5.9. So just that gives this the width of the possible mean according to Misha. Rana estimated the mean was 8.3 with a margin of error of 0.8. So we add 0.8, it could be as high as 9.1, subtract 0.8, which would be as low as 7.5. Very important. Put that out there. Usually it's helpful. And we got that. Assuming margin of error were calculated, which of the following best explains why Rana obtained a smaller margin of error? So I guess we probably don't even need these. I didn't know that was going to be the question. But typically, if you're going to have a smaller margin of error, it means the sample is bigger, which is A. More students than Misha's sample contained. Sample contained more students who drank soft drinks. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't matter about this because even if you don't drink soft drinks, that's an answer, right? That would be 0. So it doesn't matter. It's just, you just contain, wait. I'm just trying to see. So random sample students ask how many. So yeah, because drinking no soft drinks, that's still a valid data value. That means I drink none. I'm just trying to think like, hey, they only counted people who drink soft drinks, but they didn't say that. This makes no sense. They're saying like, hey, it's closer to the mean, or I don't know. Rana's sample contained more students who drank soft drinks than... Nah, that doesn't make sense. It's just more students. Okay, now I want to explain why. If you think about it like this, right? Think about you're trying to poll people for the president. and you ask 1,000 people. Of course, there's going to be a margin of error because you're not asking everybody. So there's going to be, you're trying to get a really good random sample, but of course there's going to be errors, right? It might skew one way or the other based on a number of factors you can't predict. But as that sample size goes to 10,000, goes to 100,000, goes to 1 million, goes to 320 million, once you increase it to the full population of the U.S., margin of error shrinks to 0 because you've asked everybody. Okay, assuming everybody is honest and telling exactly the thing, right? So that's a good way to remember that as the sample size increases, the margin of error should theoretically decrease. All right, 29. Circle the XY plane has its center at blah, 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 and a point here. Okay, first of all, if it's a center at -3, 4, it should be x plus 3, y minus 4. Out, x plus 3, y minus 4. Out, x plus 3, y minus 4. And then we need to know, is the radius the square root of 10? Or is the radius, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be the radius squared. So is the radius the square root of 10? It's probably not. It's probably d. The radius is probably square root of 10. I'm just saying, so because this is supposed to be radius squared. But let's test it now. And we can do that by using the distance formula between the center and one of the points on the outside of the circle, which they give us. So the distance formula is the difference of the x value is -3 minus -2, which is -1 squared, plus 4 minus 1, which is 3 squared. So that's square root of 1 plus 9, which, as I predicted, is the radius square root of 10. But it doesn't go into the equation. It's the radius squared, which would be 10. So D is the winner. Boom, done. 30. For the quadratic function, let me get a little coffee. For the quadratic function h, the table gives 3 values of x and the corresponding value of h of x. At what value of x does h reach its minimum? Wait a minute. X-intercepts. Oh, it's going to be at the vertex. And as I mentioned in a previous question, if we have the x-intercepts, 2 and 4, the vertex is going to be right in the center. And it has to be going up because it's 6. I mean, this question wouldn't work if it's not going up because it wouldn't have a minimum. But it's over here. So it's like this. And so, but it says what value of x does h reach its minimum? And like I said, it's right in the middle of the x-intercepts in between 2 and 4. And I can tell it's the x-intercepts because the function value is 0 there. If I didn't make that clear, sorry. And so it's occurring at x equals 3. That's how you do it. Boom, done. But I don't know what the minimum function value is, but I just know it occurs when x equals 3. Okay, we're doing phenomenal on time. Now we're on the free response section. And again, the difficulty is going to drop. It's going to reset at 31 and slowly build again. So just FYI. A certain rock band released 20 music albums from here to here. Okay. And so we'll say 2, 7, 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Of course, this should add up to 20. Let's just don't need to double check, but whatever. 9, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Cool, it works. If one of the albums is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting an album that was released in 1964? So we got 20 total, and I got 7 in 1964. It says it can be as decimal or fraction, so this is fine. As a decimales, it would be 0.35, but either way. 32, company decides to sponsor an employee of a bowling team. The cost for the team is $180 per team member plus a one-time fee of $25. So $25 plus $180 per team member if X is the number of team members. What is the maximum number of team members that can join if the company can spend $925 for the entire bowling team? Look at that. Built-in equation as I read it. Now let's solve for X because X is the number of people. 180X equals 900 divided by 180. I know this mentally, but you can use a calculator if you want. It goes in 5 times on the money. So 5 is the winner. Let's just double check. Cost for a team is 180 per team member. So 5 times 180, 500 plus 400, 900 plus 25. That gives us 925. Boom, done. 33. Solution to the given equation. Okay, so we're going to solve for X. I'm going to eliminate the Y's. It's beautifully set up to just do my elimination method, aka add these two equations together. 3x plus 2x is 5x. 4y plus negative 4y is 0 equals 18 plus 17, which is 35. Divide both sides by 5x equals 7. 7 is the winner. Boom, done. But we're going to double check because if x is 7, that's 14. Y would be negative 3/4. So we're going to check both equations. So negative 3/4 times negative 4 is 3 plus 14, 17. It works. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus negative 3 is 18. Boom, done. And that's that. Confirmed. 34. For the element in the periodic table having atomic numbers 1 through 18. Wait. For the element in the periodic table having atomic numbers 1 through 18. The bar graph summarizes the number of elements by their number of valence electrons. How many of these elements have at most 4 valence electrons? Yeah, it's this group, sorry. I'm like thinking about electrons and I shouldn't be. And you shouldn't on the test. You shouldn't go back to like, wait, I learned about valence electrons. I'm literally doing that in my mind and I just caught myself. I'm like, who cares? Let's just read the graph. So at most, that means leading up to 4. So we have 6 here and we have 4 here, so it's 10. Have at most 4 valence electrons, boom, done. 35. If this equals, okay, solve a nice radical equation. So we're going to isolate. Don't forget, oh, look at this little trick. They want 3x, not x. That's even better because it'll make it easier. So look, 5 rad 3x, add 2 to that side equals 15. Divide by 5. Rad of 3x equals 3, right? 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then I'm going to square both sides. But look at this. I get 3x equals 9. I don't want x. X is 3. I want 3x, which is 9. Now we're going to plug in back in and double check. If we replace that with 9, square root of 9 is 3, times 5 is 15, minus 2 is 13. Boom, verified. 36. X over y equals 8. 2x over ty equals 160. What is the value of t? All right. A nice little system. How should I do this? We can just substitute, right? 2 over t times x over y equals 160. And I already know x over y equals 8. So I got 2 over t times 8 equals 160. Divide by 8, we get 2 over t equals 20. Multiply by t, 2 equals 20t. Divide by 20, t equals 2 over 20 or 1 over 10. 1 over 10 is the answer, or 0.1, boom, done. Let me double check. Another way to solve this is to say x equals 8y, and you could sub it in that way. So it would be 2 times 8y, which is 16y over ty. Cancel out 16 over t equals 160. Multiply by t, divide. Yeah, same thing. 1/10, boom, done. Okay. 37. The table summarizes distribution of age and assigned group for participants in the study. One of the participants will be saying, what is the probability of selecting a participant from group A given that the participant is at least 10 years of age? So if we're given that they're at least 10 years of age, goodbye 0 to 9. We only care about this we only care about this pocket, 10 and above, right? And so given that we're here, which is a total of 60 and 60, which is 120, what is the probability of selecting a participant from group A, which is in this zone, right? 18 plus 22, which is 40. Simplify 4 over 12, which simplifies to 130. That's how you do it. Boom, done. And oops. Now, if you enter this as a decimal, because it's 0.3 repeating, I believe you can put in 0.3 and it'll give it to you. But we'll check. I wouldn't risk it, me personally. I think they accept like 0.3 and 0.33, but I would always do the fraction if it's repeating. 38. In the figure shown, point B is the center of each circle, lie on AC. In point B and the center of each circle lie on AC. Okay. So the center would be here for the little one, and maybe the center would be here for the big dog. I don't know. The ratio, wait, I don't know if I need that. Okay. The ratio of AB to BC is 4 to 1. Which means I can call this for, I like representing that with variables. This is for x and this is x, okay? If the area of the small circle is 72, what is the area of the shaded region? Okay, let me think about this for a second. So that means the radius of this is 2x. Hold on. I got so much time, so I'm going to chill on this one. 2x. Oh. And then the radius of the big dog is 2.5x. Okay. So Okay, let's get our area formula. So 72 equals pi r squared. 72 equals pi, and then we said the radius is half of 4x, which is 2x squared. I think I'm doing this right? Okay. And then we divide by pi. That equals 4x squared. And then you divide by 4. 72 over 4 pi equals x squared. This is enough. This is enough. We can do it now because if x squared is 72 over 4 pi, 72 divided by 4, 18, right? So it's 18 over pi. It's x squared. Okay, now we can do something with this because, all right, so if the little circle has a radius of 2x, which we already figured out, right? So pi r squared. Wait, let's move it over. Hold on. Pi r squared. And the radius of the big one, since the whole diameter is 5x, it would be 2.5x. Pi r squared. And then we subtract the 2. That gives us the shaded region, okay? And let's see if we can do this. So, oh, but it already said, we already know the area of this. We already know this becomes 72. All right, now what about this? So this is pi times 2.5. I have that memorized, 6.25. But you can double check it if you want. Any calculator. Actually, I'll just do it. Just in case. 2.5 times 2.5, yeah. All right, so then 6.25 pi x squared. Okay, and we're minusing, and we already have enough info because I can already plug this in. 18 over pi is x squared. So, oops. So we got 6.25 pi times 18 over pi, that's x squared, minus 72, cancel. 6.25 times 18 is 112.5. So we got 112.5 minus 72. Should be 40.5. All right, so 40.5. Such a weird answer. I don't like that answer because let me just make sure. Okay, so this is 72, which means, I mean, like I guess I never solved for the radius, right? Which is this, but do I need to? I don't need to. I don't think I need to. I think this is good. I think the way I did it is totally fine. I just don't like that 40.5. It's just sending up an alarm bell, but I'm pretty darn sure I did everything perfect. Hold on. Let me check one more time. The ratio of AB to BC is 4 to 1, so it's 4x to 1x. So it's 5x versus, so then it's 2.5x versus 2x. And then if it's 2x, that's 4x squared, 72, that's 18 over pi, boom, x squared. And then that's 2.5. Yeah, it's got to be right. Okay, we got a nice 15 minutes to spare. Now, if you're on the real dealio and you're taking the test for realsies, you're going to want to use this time, right, to basically go back through everything, re-canvas everything. That's what I do, and that's how I've gotten it perfect almost every single time I've taken it for reals. Minus one time where I got 790. And there's a video of that if you want to laugh, because I checked it live and I was so mad. But hey, it happens. Okay, let's do a little check of the answers. All right, zoom out. Did I stop the timer? Yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got here with the red pen of justice. All right, we've got BBCD. BBCD. We'll zoom in a little. Then we've got DCBA. DCBA. Then we've got CAAA. CAAA. 13, we've got DAB B, DABB. 17. We've got ADAC. ADAC. 21. We've got, let's see, BC. So far, so good. 25 is BBAA. Beautiful. Come on, dog. Come on. And DNC. Let's go. Multiple choice is all correctos. Now we got these ones. 720 is boom. Like I said, decimal would be allowed. They just didn't put it. 32 is 5. Boom. 33 is 7. Boom. 34 is 10. Boom. Okay, come on. We go 9. We go 1/10. We go 1/3, and we go 40.5. All right. And, look, you get a weird answer on the free response. I know I was like a little weird about it because I wasn't sure. I didn't like that number, so I checked it. I triple checked it. Do that as well, because if you miss a decimal, you miss some weird calculation on the free response, you're done. Because you're not going to see a multiple choice and be like, oh, I was slightly off for this, and you're just done. And that's that. Okay. Wow, thank you guys. I hope you guys liked this. I hope you guys literally liked it and clicked the like button. But yeah, thank you guys so much. You suck at math? What should you do? Watch these videos. You're starting doing the right thing, right? Look, you think you suck at math. You know what I do? You guys see me on YouTube. You guys don't know. I work with a ton of kids every year one-on-one. And there's no such thing as I suck at math. It's not a thing. You usually just haven't had the right guidance. You probably haven't built the right level of confidence, and so then you feel that way. It's called math anxiety. It is not. It can be defeated if you have the right help. So I want you to say, if you think you quote unquote suck at math, really you just probably haven't had the right teachers or the right tutors. And I would encourage you to watch the channel first and foremost, because you can learn a ton from this channel without spending any money. Secondly, seek out other educators, other people in your area. Obviously, we do that. If you want to hit us up, we got other tutors and myself are available. But don't flip it on yourself. Trust me, I am speaking from a massive amount of experience, and I know it's just not a thing. That's why I love this job so much, because I can flip that around on people. Thank you. I know this will go a long way on Saturday. You're welcome. Can you re-explain question 38? I see somebody gave you an example. Ishan did put something in there. See if that helps you. Let me just read some other comments. I got a 790. Amazing. Congrats. How do I fix careless mistakes? Practice. That's how you fix careless mistakes. You make the mistakes on the practice, so you're less likely to make them on the real dealio. That's the deal. That's the ultimate hack. Staying calm. How do you stay calm? Stay calm from practice. Now, there's also breathing exercises, things you can do as well to calm your nervous system down. But really, how do you stay calm in a athletic event? You practiced a ton. You're conditioned. You're ready to go. Then you're more calm. A little bit of nerves is always good, though. You want some nerves because that means you care. Yeah, I don't, like I said, even if this might be on Reddit, I don't know if I have to really check if it's been officially released, because I want to follow that. I'm only asking because should I stress about studying a lot this week if I've studied all summer? I mean, it just depends on you. It depends on where you're at. Are you hitting the practice scores that you wanted? Do you feel ready to go? I don't know. It really depends. Do I think you have to go crazy this week and study like a madman? No, I don't. Not necessarily. If you haven't done much studying, then yeah, you should be going, everything at it right now. But it just sort of depends. And that's it. All right. For all my digital people, we're starting tomorrow. But if you're taking the regular test, I would still encourage you to join, because there's a lot of similarities, tons of similarities, obviously, because the math concepts are not different. So I would still encourage you to join. But anyways, and then Friday's the big day, 9 a.m. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell right now if you haven't done so you'll kind of keep track of what's coming out and when the live streams are happening and all that stuff. And then I got your back. We're going to do this together going into Saturday. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.